Well, good afternoon. I'm Dominique Papadopoulos. We are back with Tlife, and this time we're going to answer some of our readers' questions. So we'll start with Christina. Which lipstick colors makes teeth look more white? Well, the best colors would be to use red that contains blue, more like carmin reds. Everything containing blue will make the yellowing of the teeth whiter. That's our first question. Second question from Nancy. What are the new trends in makeup? Should we highlight the eyes or the lips? Which color should we choose? Well, Chanel gives you a trend this fall, which is a trend based on soft, matte, rosy shades, a little bit more raspberry shades that you can contrast with deeper blackcurrant shades. So whether you play with monochromic pinks, which is quite nice in winter because it will refresh your entire face, or and you can contrast, of course, with darker shades, more going to the deep blackcurrants like the Rouge Coco Baume Aura, and of course with our nail polish, which is Orage, which is also in the deep shades. And you should highlight whether the lips or the eyes, and actually Chanel offers you this time shades to emphasize more the eyes and to be more soft on the lips. Now to Georgia. Good afternoon. We all know that strong eyebrows are now in fashion. It's true. We have watched many videos and have read a lot of advice about how to feel our eyebrows, but which is your secret for big and well-shaped eyebrows? So this I will show you. It's quite easy. It's all a matter of shape of the eyes and of course of the right products to be used. So for example, this is the Sourcil de Chanel, which is one of the iconic products of Chanel. To make sure you have the right shades, put a pen at the edge of the nose and at the edge of the eyes. This gives you, first of all, you don't go too far. The same here. And if you have, for example, an eyebrow that has an angle, open the eyes, you have to put again the brush of the shape of the eyes and in the center of the eyes. Now, to have them perfectly groomed, and if you want them strong, use two shades. Start with black in the inner corner of the eyes, so you can really go strong. Especially if you do light makeup, you have to be careful with your eye makeup as well. And then you choose a second shade, which is going to be lighter, on the outer corner of the eyebrows, so you don't have something which is too black or too brown, too monochromatic. So it looks strong, but at the same time still feminine. So we do the second one very fast. So black in the inner corner of the eyes, and you finish with brown in the outer corner of the eyes. So you have your strong eyebrows, which is true are in fashion. Just be careful with your eye makeup. Don't do too strong eye makeup with this. We have a question from Ellie. I'm finding it hard to find the right spot to use terracotta in order to create angle on my face. Is there any simple way to find these spots? There is a very simple way. You have to look at yourself in the mirror with a light, with a proper light, and the light is going to give you the shape of the face. Or what I do as a makeup artist, when I look at a model, I try to look at her in black and white, because like this you have the contrast between light and shadow, and the shadows gives you the place where you have to put the terracotta to shape the face. Like if you look at Carolina, you can see the darkness is here, so you have to emphasize here, and eventually the chin as well. We have a question from Maria Dim. I'll become a godmother in a few days, and I'll be wearing a maxi rose pastel boho style dress. I'm brown haired with normal tan complexion. Which color should I prefer for my makeup on that special day? Well, if you have a rose pastel dress, emphasize on the lips, because all the light will be coming from your dress. So use a rosy shade, which can be a bit more intense, but can be rather soft, and remain a little bit more soft on the eyes, because that's a day which is your beauty that you want to highlight and not your makeup. So choose the perfect color lipstick that goes with your dress. Next questions from Paraskevi. Which eyeshadow and lipstick color do you consider more appropriate for brown-haired women with white complexion? There is not a specific color for brown-haired women with white complexion. Gabrielle Chanel was used to say that the best color in the world is the color that suits you. So the only advice I give you, go and see a makeup artist and try different colors. There's not only one shade. Next question from Anna. Good afternoon. Basically, I have a fairly big nose that could be characterized as marked. Should I use darker makeup for the rest of my face in comparison to what I use for my nose? What should I do? My complexion is white and I have a chocolate hair. The nose is the signature of your personality. You don't have to soften it, but if you really have an issue with your nose, you can just use your complexion all over the face and just soften with a very light taupe shade, more like a light brown on the edge of the nose. So you will minimize a little bit the size of the nose. But don't focus on your nose because it's your signature. Now, Nina, which are the steps to be followed in order to cover up correctly a pimple when I made up? Well, that's easy too, quite easy. Use a concealer, and whenever you have a light pimple, like she has a few, you just cover it up with your concealer. Very important, you blend it into your complexion. And one more thing that you can actually do is to use again your little foundation, especially Vita Lumiere, and with your Vita Lumiere brush, because you can build up, you just pass on top of it. Voila, and that's it. Can't be more easier than this. Now we have a question from Olga. Is it a solution to lightly powder and make up my cleavage and neck in order to avoid problems with two colors from the makeup? The most important is to choose the color of your shade on the jawline and a little bit on the forehead. So try to get the color the closest as possible to your skin tone, like we have here, so you don't have to put anything. Now if you need, use again a foundation which is in the powdery form, like Vita Lumiere loose powder, and you can touch up if you want. But the best thing is to use the proper shade. Now we have a question from Panagiotta. Should we try to match our makeup, eyeshadow, mascara shades with the color of our hair? Again, here there is not a simple answer, because today we have the palette of colors is so wide. I prefer to play with contrast. So if you have, for example, brown hair, you can play with more bluish tones, or you can play with rosé tones to contrast a little bit your character. Now we have a question, it's quite an important question, and we have combined it with Annie, and we had two Marias having the same oily skin complexion problem. Now, I'm 33 years old, and ever since adolescence my face is oily and with black spots. I've tried everything, but I haven't noticed any significant difference. My situation gets miraculously better only during the winter when it's cold. Of course, because you get less oil. Huh? The oiliness disappears almost completely and the black spot becomes remarkably less. Due to the oiliness on my face, I avoid putting on makeup on. In general, I feel that I can't make up myself as I would like to, due to this intense oiliness. Is there any makeup for problematic complexion such as mine? Yes, there is. Again, I come back to my Vita Lumiere loose powder. Carolina is a little bit shiny. You apply it all over your face in round motions. It's powdery, so it will mattify in a very natural way. You won't have any feeling of wearing a mask or of having too much texture on your face. And you see the skin remains perfectly matte, luminous and natural. And this is what is important. So that's really the ideal foundation for every woman who has an issue with oiliness, who has an issue with oily skin, combination skin, and with makeup oil. And on your eyelids, to make your eye makeup stay longer, also use just a little touch of this foundation. It's quite miraculous because it doesn't show at all on the face. Voila, that's ideal for any problem of oily skin complexion. Now we have Constantina. Good afternoon. I have quite round and big eyes. What would be the correct makeup for me? If you have round eyes and big eyes, especially when they're very round, the best way to correct them is by using a kohl inside the eyes, like a black kohl, so it will elongate the eyes. And then also you can just use a very fine line at the roots of the lashes and also under. But very important is the kohl inside, which will reduce the size of the eyes and make them less round. Next question is from Mary. Which are the makeup trends for the new season? Which color will prevail? Again, at Chanel this time, we're playing more with soft pinks or more intense fuchsias, the shades which are more romantic shades, but you can contrast with black currants or with deep black. So it's a combination of romance and stormy relations. I mean, it's a storm and romance at the same time. That's what we advise at Chanel for this season, which is quite nice because fresh always provides you with, pink always provides you with freshness. Next question is from Maria. I would like to ask, which is the most effective way to cover red spots on the face and how we can achieve a flawless makeup on an oily complexion without using many products? Again, here I come back to two products. You have Le Blanc, which I have already been using, with your fingers or with a brush, and wherever you have some redness, you can just apply it directly on your redness, if you have, for example, on the cheeks. And then, again, if you have an oily skin, if you have an issue with your foundation, I go back to my Vita Lumiere loose powder. You can add and add and add, and it will never show. Your skin will remain all the time natural, without this mask effect. So these are the two ideal products if you have redness, and if you have an issue of oiliness, of oily skin. Voila. And you see, you can really retouch whenever you want, and as many times as you want. You can't make a mistake with this. Most important is to find the proper shade. Voila. Next question is from Pelagia. Hi there. I would like to ask, which are the steps that needs to be followed by every woman before putting on makeup? And this is very important, as far as the cleansing and hydration of the face, the eyes and the lips are concerned. The most important is the cleaning. Use the cleaning according to what you like, water, not water. Then you use a toner to finish your cleaning. Very important, especially at night, remove all your makeup. Then you go on with the moisturizer, like the Hydra Beauty moisturizer for the face and for the eyes. Natural skin, luminous skin, all starts with skincare. So cleaning, toning, hydrating and eye product. These are the fundamental steps. And if your lips are dry, just use, for example, a balm like the Rouge Coco Balm to really hydrate your lips. Very important questions because skincare should never be neglected. Next questions from Maria Eleni. I am a blonde woman with olive complexion who likes red lipsticks, but until now I haven't found a shade that looks good on me. What could you suggest? If you have an olive complexion contains grey and yellow. So you have to avoid every lipstick containing yellow. So you go, if you like to have red lipsticks, you avoid everything which is going to the coral or to the orangey shade. Go more to the red with containing blue, such as, for example, this beautiful raspberry shade from Rouge Coco Balm, which is called Viva. So this will reveal and also correct if you have yellowness on your skin. That's what this kind of colors you should use. Next questions, Eleftheria. What kind of eye makeup could I combine correctly but not intensely with my purple lipstick? Moreover, which color can I use without fear for my everyday makeup this autumn? Very good, good questions. So she does has a purple lipstick, voila. So this could be a purple lipstick. And she wants to see what she can combine with it. So I can show you very, very simple, just with a single eyeshadows from the Ombre Essentielle called Hésitation, which is a very soft rosewood shade. And you can use it all over the eyelid, close the eyes. So it's going to be quite soft, will match, will not clash with your purple eyeshadow. And like this, the intensity will be on your eye, on your lips and not on your eyes. And you see it's quite easy in a very light monochromic way. Voila. You see it's matte, so it's quite light and soft. Open the eyes. We do the second eye very briefly. Close the eyes. And you just apply it all over the eyelids. So the eyes are quite soft. They will not clash with your purple lipstick. And it's matte. Voilà. Very simple, very monochromic on the eyes. Open the eyes. We can show again a deep, almost a purple lipstick, and you see it doesn't clash with the eyes. Now for every day, I would not use this lipstick. I would go for something much softer, which is Intime, where you can apply it directly on the lips, and you will see it will just highlight, emphasize the lips, add a touch of light and luminosity. So this is something you can do for your everyday makeup. Next question from Maria Grigoriadou. I would like you to give me some advice for my morning strolls in the autumn. Moreover, which product would you suggest for the cleansing in the face? So we have been speaking already about the shades, the fall shades of pinks and raspberries. So you can really find something that you like. Or there is another palette, which is a 4 palettes, which is quite interesting because it's quite easy to use on an everyday base. The name is Poesy. So you have a combinations of ivory, rosy shade, chestnut, and a deep eggplant. So you can really create different kind of looks. And to clean your face, again, it depends if you like to use water or a milk, and you can find both at Chanel. Now, next question is from Fortuny Kutri. I would like to ask, which is the ideal appropriate makeup for my marriage? That's a difficult question to answer, especially like this. I have to see you, but I always suggest women to use light makeup because we have to see them. We don't have to see the makeup. The makeup is not the most important that day. It's your day, so it's you that you have to emphasize your beauty. Mistake a lot of some women do, they do too strong makeup and we don't see them anymore. It's more like a show, so emphasize more your beauty and go and see a proper makeup artist. Next, Georgia. Firstly, I would like to ask which lipstick shade may be used by a red-haired woman in the morning and at night. Moreover, my eyelashes are long but not curl at all, and I don't want to use an eyelash curler. Is there any mascara that can make this curl? So here we have 2 questions. Red hair, if you go at night, try to find a color that suits your hair color. In the daytime, go more for very soft shades of rosé shades and beige shades or rosewoods, like the one we have here, for example. It's quite nice also if you have red hair. And regarding mascara, the only advice I can give you for curling mascara, and mascara which are really going to curl and keep your lashes curl, it's the new Volume from Chanel. It will curl your lashes, give you volume, not lengthening too much, and they will stay curled. They will not going to go down, and you don't need an eye curler. Last question is from Elisa. Good morning. My name is Elisa and I'm 23 years old. I love Chanel cosmetics and very often prefer this brand when I have to choose. I'm very happy to read this. I have a fair complexion, light brown eyes and tawny hair. I would like to ask which blush shade suits me best, peach, rose or coral. I can answer all the 3. Peach, rose and coral will match you. Moreover, should I prefer a blush in cream or powder form? Well, these are 2 different textures for 2 different effects. If you use a cream blush, it's going to be natural, as if the color is really coming from your skin. If you use a powdery blusher, it will be a little bit more sophisticated. And when I make up, I highlight mainly my cheekbones and use a lip gloss or a soft lipstick color. As for the eyes, I highlight them with a bit of mascara and sometimes I'll use a light beige eyeshadow. So that's perfect. She likes flawless makeup, natural makeup, so keep it as it is. Now, I would like also to ask, would you suggest to a young girl Chanel's Vita Lumiere Aqua or a BB cream? This makeup is my favorite, but I don't know to what extent the result is different from a BB cream. Well, if you use Vita Lumiere Aqua, you get flawless results, which is going to be natural and completely invisible, and it's going to stay all day long. If you use a BB cream, you're going to have more hydration, correction, and there's only 1 shade, so it's very important that you find a proper shade. Maybe in the Vita Lumiere you'll find a shade, Vita Lumiere Aqua you'll find a shade which is going to be close to your complexion, while the BB cream today has only 1 shade. So I would suggest you to use your Vita Lumiere because you can build up, for example, for day and for night, and on the weekend you can use your BB cream and have something more natural. And that's it for today. We have answered, I think, all the questions of the people which have been asking for us. Thank you very much, Carolina. Thank you to Tlife. We're very happy to be with you today, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.